Shannon needed to have some accountability because he gave them something to shake down. He gave them something to target by making poor choices.
If you said that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Busby and this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out there, you should shut the F up. I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence.
There are mornings when talk radio is white noise, and then there are mornings when a single sentence slices through coffee steam like a lightning fork. At 6:02 a.m. on April 25th, Charlamagne That God leaned into the mic and dropped one of those thunderbolts. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe is staring at a $50 million SA lawsuit, y'all.
If you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now, Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday.
The studio fell silent for half a breath, long enough for commuter traffic to miss a green light, before phone lines exploded. In that instant, a man celebrated for never ducking a debate discovered what it feels like to become the debate.
Because it's true. Sit your old down and go find somebody your age and build a family with them. As I said yesterday, men, we need stability and we need discipline.
Long before he held court in designer suits on television sets, Shannon Sharpe ran barefoot wind sprints on a dirt road in Glenville, Georgia, racing imaginary opponents because there were no kids nearby fast enough to keep up. He parlayed that hunger into 3 Lombardi trophies, a Hall of Fame induction, and then an even rarer metamorphosis: athlete turned media power broker. Unlike many ex-pros who fade into polite commentary, Sharpe forged a talk show persona equal. Parts preacher, trash talk poet, and locker room historian. Authenticity, raw, unfiltered, sometimes abrasive, became his currency, and social algorithms paid in exposure dividends measured in the tens of millions. On Sunday, April 20th, a Clark County court clerk stamped case JAR A 25403-111. Behind the docket number, a 58-page complaint from a woman identified only as Jane Doe. Her allegation: 2 violent, non-consensual encounters after what she describes as a turbulent 20-month romance that began when they met at a Los Angeles gym in 2023.
And she says that she alleges that the was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive.
The filing paints a portrait of skyrocketing intimacy laced with control, threats, and finally, brutality. She is asking for $50 million, an amount big enough to command headlines, scare insurers, and instantly polarize the internet. Representing Doe is Tony Busby, the Texas litigator who turned Deshaun Watson's civil storm into front-page thunder. Busby doesn't whisper, he schedules press conferences. Within hours, he framed the suit as a blow for women forced into silence by men hiding behind fame. For crisis management teams, the name Busby is a 4-alarm fire. Discovery demands arrive with camera crews in tow, and any settlement figure tends to leak before the ink dries. Sharpe's camp needed only 280 characters to strike back. A pinned post on X labels the complaint a blatant shakedown. His attorney insists every meeting was consensual and hints that strategically trimmed video clips warp the full story. Hours later, Reuters reports whispers, unverified, of a $10 million settlement discussion rebuffed earlier in the spring. To some observers, talk of a rejected payout looks like smoke from a guilty conscience. To others, it sounds like proof someone tried to cash in before courts could weigh facts. Either way, the number lodges itself in the public imagination like a pop lyric. By Tuesday, network executives were in emergency Zooms. The result? Sharpe voluntarily steps away from his desk while he devotes time to family and legal matters. The wording is corporate yoga, flexible enough to stretch whichever way the case bends. Advertisers notice, beverage brands inserted pause option clauses, and one sneaker company quietly redirected a social ad buy to women's soccer. Highlights. In less than 48 hours, Sharpe learned how fast the word alleged can vaporize inventory. But that was only the opening salvo. If ESPN's retreat was measured, Charlamagne's response was a cannon blast. He replayed Sharpe's own advice: sit you old self down and date someone your age, and challenged listeners. Authenticity attracts crowds, but it also paints a neon target on your back. TikTok clipped the soundbite. Within a day, Shannon Sharpe trended above Arsh NBA playoffs. The divide was immediate. One camp brandished Sharpe's philanthropic receipts, the other posted grainy screenshots of the complaint's most graphic paragraphs. Legally, Sharpe faces no jail cell. Civil juries don't hand out orange jumpsuits, but the monetary and reputational stakes can dwarf criminal penalties. Civil court demands only 51% certainty. In an era where a deep fake can travel faster than a subpoena, that threshold feels razor thin. Discovery will scrape texts, locations, bank transfers, draft tweets, every breadcrumb of a life lived online. Protective order battles loom over whether explicit videos remain sealed or leak in strategic drips that keep hashtags boiling. Parasocial science says fans feel real anxiety when idols stumble. Sharpe's audience isn't a monolith, it's millions of micro-communities who see themselves in his underdog-to-overlord arc. Some now confess sleepless doom scroll sessions, afraid their hero's empire could collapse while they refresh the feed. Brands are equally twitchy. Key person insurance may cushion ESPN's balance sheet, but deductibles skyrocket after every scandal. One media buy spreadsheet, leaked to trade chatter, shows Sharpe's name flagged amber, budget frozen until sentiment stabilizes. Yet the real turning point might arrive off camera. Legal veterans outline 3 probable paths. Swift confidential deal. Money changes hands, silence is contractual, critics cry hush fund, supporters claim vindication, corporate partners tiptoe back after a cooling off period, slow burn discovery. Depositions leak, every spicy text becomes a trending topic, and Sharpe's chair at ESPN collects dust while lawyers feast on billable hours. Countersuit offensive, Sharpe sues for defamation. Each side gambles millions on public perception. And the only guaranteed winners end up being stenographers and Twitter comedians. Sharpe's charisma once felt bulletproof. Now critics call it a mask that hid darker impulses, while defenders argue no one that open could orchestrate such secrecy. History offers cautionary tales. Kobe Arrow 3, Bauer 21, influencers disintegrated by a single Reddit thread. The modern lesson is brutal. Every unfiltered moment is recordable evidence. Every viral rant potential exhibit. A. Suppose Sharpe beats the claim outright. Court says not liable, videos exonerate him. Does the internet update its memory, or does the first impression fossilize? Data suggests trajectory, not truth, shapes legacy. The louder the initial headline, the less traction any retraction gets. If Sharpe loses, the brand he spent 30 years crafting may never regain its pre-2025 shine, regardless of redemption tours. Either way, the case is already a textbook on 21st century reputation economics. So where does that leave the man who once stiff-armed linebackers and later stiff-armed debate rivals? In a paradox. To protect his future, he might need to muzzle the very authenticity that built his empire. Yet silence can read like guilt, and fans trained to expect daily hot takes distrust empty feeds. For now, Sharpe retreats to legal war rooms while pundits fill the vacuum he left behind. If the lawsuit underscores anything, it's that the same digital infrastructure that turns personalities into empires can, overnight, turn allegations into economic wrecking balls. Shannon Sharpe's story is still being written, every time-stamped text, every courtroom filing a fresh line of dialogue. Whether he emerges cleared, compromised, or cratered, the saga is an unmistakable warning. In 2025, the mic never truly turns off, and the audience never really leaves the arena. The question is no longer, will the truth come out? But rather, when it does, will anyone still be listening? And will the brands that bankroll the spotlight still want the bulb switched on? Fade to black until the next filing drops.